Hey everyone, in today's video I'm going to be showing you how you can create this inner page transition effect. Looks like a window pane. Let's get straight into it. Alright, so in our HTML we'll add a div with the class of overlay. In that overlay we'll add multiple layers. We'll create 12 of them. Let's go into our CSS and style it. So dot overlay, position fixed, top left of 0 is going to cover the entirety of the page, have a display of flex, and insert has a z-index of 1, so it's in front of the rest of the items. We're going to add pointer events none, so it isn't taking up the clicks, and we can access what's behind it even when it's not visible. And then we'll style the layers, so dot layer, width 100% of its parent, height we're gonna have it 0 so we can animate from 0, and have a transition on that height, 200 milliseconds or 0.2 seconds, ease in. Gonna add layer active. We're gonna say height gonna be 100 of the view height divided by 12, since there are 12 of those layers. And let's go into our JavaScript. So function window pane, this is the function that will animate the overlay and its child layers. So const layers, can't type, equals document dot query selector all, looking for everything with a class of layer. We're gonna say we're not gonna use a for each function because we need I to create a staggered effect. So we're gonna go old school for let I equals 0 while I is less than layers dot length. We're gonna increment I, and the function we're gonna run is set timeout. Gonna have a timeout of I times 40, so each layer will be delayed more than the layer in front of it with an increment of 40. And we're gonna say layers I dot class list dot add. We're gonna add the class of layer active. Let's run that function, hopefully it works. Yes, one thing we did forget to do was add a background color to our layer. I've just added a greenish color to the layer, and also ensure this is spaced between and not center. Hopefully that works. Yep. It's a bit too fast for my liking, so we can increase this to 60 and increase the duration of the transition. Let's save that and check that out. Perfect. Then what we need to do now is to make it so that when we switch between pages, the effect comes on and off. So let's start that now. One thing we do have to do is make sure that it is already in the state where the page is fully green, so that when we switch between pages, the next page that loads will have the green screen up before, so we don't need to animate the item back onto the page. I'll show you now, so because the pictures weren't worth 1,000 words. One thing you should know is if you press Alt and then click on wherever you want, you can add multiple cursors and type from the same place. So we're gonna add layer active to be its base state. We're gonna copy this and paste it into the next page. And then in our JavaScript, we're going to add a function called switch page. So function switch page. What we're going to do is we're going to get all the links in the page. So links equals document query selector all. Rather than all the links in the page, all the navigation links, because that's the only links that we want to trigger the animation. So we're going to get all the links called nav link. I'm going to say links.forEach. So for each link, what we're going to do is first of all, we're going to add an event listener. So link.addEventListener. On click, we're gonna get the event, and event.prevent default, in case you didn't know, stops the page from doing what it's meant to do normally. So if you clicked on a link normally, it would just go to the URL of the link, but this will stop that from happening. This is not what we want. So instead, we're gonna say const href equals link.href, and we're gonna say set timeout of a whole second should do it. And what we're gonna do now is trigger the window pane function, and then after that we'll say location.href, not local storage, location.href equals to the value that we stored earlier. We're just gonna change this to toggle so it can switch between on and off. Hopefully that works. We have to call that function first, so switch page, and then we'll add another thing, is window dot add event listener, not on scroll but on load. We're gonna run this function that triggers window pane for the first time, so it can create that animation on load. Let's check that out and hopefully it works. As you can see, it's halfway done. That's because we're not triggering the animation before we load. Let me just take a look at that again so I can learn how to fix it. Alright. So we need to take window pane out of there and keep it outside of the set timeout, and hopefully it should work now. And yep, that's it. Thank you guys for watching, like and subscribe. See you guys next time.